Welcome back, everyone, to the 2024 Global Trophy, the 20th annual Global Trophy, and we are now here with what was very much a focal point of the last year's tournament. We are here, once again, with the Americas Preliminary League. I'm Masterath, and I'm joined alongside
Samuel 64, and yeah, we probably should describe it more as the Central American Preliminary League, because there are no North American teams, there are no South American teams in this. They are all kind of situated in that kind of, middle band of America, kind of like Mexico and, kind of alongside there, really, in terms of like the latitude of the globe, I guess.
Yeah, it'll probably be fine to call them that at the moment, but Bolivia are slipping, so they could very well.
It may not be. Yeah, but for now
they could very well be in there at some point later down the line. But here, pretty much 16 Central American teams battling it out for the top 8 places. And obviously, last year we had potentially the greatest preliminary league in the Global Trophy's history.
It kicked off, didn't it? It truly did kick off.
I mean, was it? Yeah. Didn't it get to the point that in the last fixture, only 2 of the teams have actually made it through?
Yeah, there was still something to play for like most of the teams in the competition. I think the top 2 were kind of running away with it, but then everyone else behind was kind of so poor that they all kind of ended up just clashing with each other. And then obviously one of the teams in St Kitts and Nevis actually did go through to the Global Trophy proper in the end, didn't they?
And made it to the top 16. So yeah. It can happen on that one, but let's begin with our dud team for this year's America's Preliminary League. It is the Bahamas.
Yeah, it's a shame to see them having to be the dud team, but someone has to be, so the Bahamas it is.
Narrowly scraping through and have a chance, and they usually do okay here. It's the Cayman Islands.
Yes, the Cayman Island conspirators from a few years ago, they're back again.
That was Faroe Islands.
Was it Faroe? I thought it was Cayman Islands.
Yeah, it was in the European Preliminary League.
Oh, my apologies.
If we see RJ Fernandez here, ooh, get him.
Suspicious. If it's RJ Fernandez in the dud match between Bahamas and the Cayman Islands, that's when you know it's going to be pretty mental.
Oh yeah, he's just there going, there should only be one island. That's what it is.
One set of islands, yeah.
Yep, that's it. Sod you, Greece. Next up, it is Dominica.
Yep, Dominica. I think last year they started strongly but faded quite quickly, if memory serves. I can't remember.
Yeah, sounds about right. I don't think Dominica have really made it into the Global Trophy Americas qualifiers often. They usually drop out at this stage.
Yes.
Speaking of a team that always drops out of this stage, Masterath's next.
Not a very big nation at all, are they? I'd say in terms of the quality that they bring to the table. Maybe this year, who knows?
Yeah, and of course their capital city is Plymouth.
Dunno.
Right next to a volcano. Great place to put your capital city. Right next to a volcano.
To be fair with Montserrat, I mean, how much space is there in the country that isn't volcano?
Well, you could put it like as far away from it as you can, I guess. But yeah,
I suppose the land is the most fertile there, so that's why they probably built the settlement in the first place.
Like Pompeii doesn't exist for a reason.
Yeah, it should serve as an example.
Yes, it should serve an example from history, Montserrat. Also, they get beaten quite easily in the Global Trophy Americas qualifiers preliminaries quite often.
They do.
Next up, St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yeah, St. Vincent, I think they have got out of the preliminary league in the past. Not very often, but it has happened, so what to watch out for.
Yep, I think I haven't sort of like recently with St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they've almost won the America's Preliminary League before, and they've been in that that bubble.
That conversation, yeah, exactly.
Next up, a team that's always sort of there or thereabouts when it comes to the preliminary leagues. They sometimes qualify, sometimes don't. Belize.
Yeah, probably one of the favourites to go through here. Although with that said, obviously with St Kitts and Nevis having actually qualified for the Global Trophy this year, and they're a regular participant in these preliminary leagues, it will mean that a team that doesn't normally have to participate is going to be there this time.
Yes, they certainly will be. We'll be getting to them very shortly on that one. Next up, it is Grenada.
Or is it Granada, like an old Ford?
I think we were weren't we corrected in the comments? I think about that about 2 or 3 years ago.
I can't remember because there is an old model of Ford.
Yeah.
Because there was the Granada and the Scorpio.
At Ford's American, they always pronounce things wrong.
Oh, okay.
Aluminium exists.
But no, the spelling's different though because we add an I.
Yeah. What? I don't get it. I could get into a big tangent about that. You know, like why are there like words in the American English language that are so simplified in comparison to English language, like sidewalk.
It's a whole thing, isn't it?
Yeah, like sidewalk instead of pavement. But then why do they edgify a bunch of them? Oh, you're not in a lift, you're in an elevator.
And they had Z's instead of S's to everything.
Yeah. And oh, you're oh yeah. Oh, this is on the end of this pencil. Oh yeah, it's not a rubber. It's an eraser. Oh my god, metal as hell. Yeah. Moving swiftly on, we got Bermuda next.
Bermuda, yeah, a set of islands in the kind of... Not really in the Caribbean, is it? They're kind of outside of the Caribbean. They're kind of more just in the middle of the Atlantic. Strange.
Yeah, very, very. But yeah, all these sort of areas, very, sort of like in that Central
Remote.
American bubble, you know?
Yeah.
On that one.
Exactly.
Next up, they actually made it to the Global Trophy America's qualifiers last time around, but they usually are dud. It's Cuba.
Yep, Cuba, famous for their cigars. I think my wife has actually been to Cuba before.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Mixed with any cartels at all?
Not that I'm aware of. Be a nasty surprise to spring on me now, wouldn't it?
Certainly would be. Certainly would be. Next up, it's Streets Lucia. Because the game...
Not Saint, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't put a dot for that one. Yeah.
No dot.
Saint Lucia, yeah. One of the kind of more prevalent, I suppose, not Jamaican, Caribbean nations. I got confused there for a second. My apologies.
It is the morning, to be fair.
It is the morning.
Yeah.
It's 10:30 in the morning.
Yep.
And I have had my toast though, so that's okay. St. Lucia, yeah. Famed for their bananas, apparently.
Yep, and St. Lucia last time round barely missed out. They were doing quite well in the preliminary league, but then yeah, pretty much they got Bosnia'd and lost.
Yep, sounds about right.
Yeah. Next up, Guyana.
Which kind of Guyana is it? Is it French Guyana? Is it English Guyana?
Regular flavoured Guyana, I think.
Okay, just regular Guyana. Cool.
I'm sure we'll be able to find out when Bahamas play against them, because if it's got the British flag in it, we know.
It's one of the former colonies.
Yep. Next up, back into the preliminary league for the first time in a while, Barbados is here. Yeah,
they've been fairly okay in the last couple of years with their rankings, but they've kind of slipped down the order a little bit now. Down even below our next team, Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the unofficial 51st state, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. When it comes to that, but yeah, Barbados have qualified for a Global Trophy Finals quite recently, but yeah, back into the preliminary league they go. And
yeah. And that's what Puerto Rico. I mean, they tend to pre-qualify, don't they? They tend to be able to get through, if memory serves.
They're usually there or thereabouts. Some like on some occasions they haven't made it. I think they've sort of finished maybe like in the top 12. Yeah. But that's about it. Next up, the Dominican Republic.
Yep. Who of course share an island with Haiti. Of course, Haiti are actually through to the preliminaries. So they didn't have to pre-qualify because they actually made it to the top 8 last time around.
Yep, of the American sections. But they did get bummed twice by Argentina.
They did. Yeah, it happens to the best of us.
Yeah, what was it? 8-0 or 12-0, I think, wasn't it, last time around, I think?
Yeah, they shipped about 20 goals to Argentina in 2 games. It's rough, isn't it?
Pretty much. No wonder Argentina's the number 1 in the global trophy. It's because of teams like Haiti. Next up, last year's winners of the preliminary league, Suriname.
Have you ever seen the list of players that, like in real life, that could have been eligible for Suriname?
Is it a lot? Because before that, we were just talking about that president guy that just keeps
Ronnie Brunswijk.
Brunswijk, that's his name, yeah. Big Chungus.
Yeah, let me just get a quick look of these players, who could have played for them. So, hang on, where is the list? Because there is quite a lot.
And I'm guessing a lot of them are quite sort of big names, I guess.
Well, I know Virgil van Dijk is one of them.
Oh, wow. God, imagine if Van Dijk didn't play for the Netherlands.
Here we
just
go.
played
right,
for
ready?
Suriname.
So you could have had Ryan Gravenberch, who's obviously plays for Bayern Munich these days. You could have Steven Bergwijn, former Spurs player, Calvin Stengs, Gini Wijnaldum as well, Justin Kluivert, and of course by the same token,
So it sounds
Patrick
like
Kluivert.
it sounds like quite a lot of Netherlands, to be honest.
Well, they are a Dutch colony,
Yeah.
so that's why. Or they were a Dutch colony. But basically, Suriname, had the cards fallen differently, could have had a very, very good national team. But obviously, they all want to play for the Netherlands because,
Of course they do.
it's the Netherlands.
Yeah, of course they do.
So, but yeah, Suriname, an interesting part of the world.
Yep, so instead they had to have Brunswijk play for them instead, a 53-year-old big man.
Oh, I think he's the vice president, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know, I can't remember.
And last but not least, usually Suriname are the highest ranked team here. But obviously since teams like St. Kitts and Nevis have been able to make it through, teams had to drop down. Barbados has dropped down, but also Nicaragua has dropped down.
Yeah, and Nicaragua are going to have to pre-qualify this time. But I assume they're going to go into this as the red-hot favourites, right? Surely.
You'd certainly expect so on that one, but hell, we've seen already, North Korea drop down and
couldn't get through.
Yeah.
You're right, yeah.
So it can happen. It can happen to the best of us, and that's got to be something that Nicaragua and Barbados have got to worry. They got to watch out for. All right, and we begin with Barbados versus the Bahamas. There you go. We've got a very beautiful first match. If you're looking for the actual places themselves.
Two beautiful parts of the world, and I'm very jealous of anyone who has ever been to either of these two places. Of course, it does mean that Barbados are going to kick off with 3 points from the Dud team. Two beautiful flags as well. Look at that. Very nice.
You don't see much in the form. Oh, there he is.
Bloody hell!
First match. Can you be any more obvious, RJ? God.
He's
First
he's
match,
a scamp, isn't he?
and it's him.
He's a scamp. He's a scamp. He's a scamp, isn't he?
First match, and it's him. Oh, damn it. Okay. Maybe there'll be the last time we see him.
I doubt it.
It won't be, will it?
If he shows up in the Cayman Islands match, it's all gone to hell, mate. It's all over.
Oh yeah, no, we've got the evidence we need. Arrest him.
Yeah,
sorted.
Just lock him up.
Yep. It's the best place for him, the bloody conspirator. He shot a coach driver about 4 years ago.
Still hasn't been arrested.
Yep. Global trophy law, everyone.
Yep.
Who watches it? They go, what the bloody are they on about?
Belize versus Bermuda. Let's move on quickly before we get taken down. Because we know too much.
That's true, yeah. A battle of two more Bs. Draw between the two. 2-2. It's starting again.
Here we go. Cuba versus the Cayman Islands.
Okay, battle of two Cs now.
Yep.
2-1 win for the Cayman Islands. That's a good start for them.
Yeah, they'll take that. They're the first team with a legitimate win on the books so far, and then we move on to Grenada and Dominica.
Yep, the other two teams essentially we're going in alphabetical order, I guess, at the moment. Yep. Win for Dominica, 1-0.
Good start for Dominica there.
Guyana now. This could be the first route of this. Guyana takes on Montserrat.
Yeah, Montserrat tend to finish towards the bottom of this preliminary league, don't they?
Yep, and concede many goals. 3 only. I guess Montserrat will probably take that as their first match. Good win for Guyana.
It does put them bottom of the table, though, I believe, on alphabetical order.
Yes, it does. So they're already below the Dud already. Good for them.
Good start for Montserrat there.
Yep.
St. Lucia and Puerto Rico next up.
Yep, two teams who are there or thereabouts. So both teams would certainly want to get a win to kick off their campaign here in the 2024 trophy. Win for Puerto Rico, 3-2.
That's a bit of a surprise for me. I thought that would be a St. Lucia win, but Puerto Rico there with a solid win to start things off.
Yep, solid win to kick off there. And also, very good match for the neutral there. 5 goals.
Absolutely.
Dominican Republic take on probably one of the bigger guns in this league, St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
When you say St. Vincent and the Grenadines are one of the bigger guns, that's how you know the quality of this preliminary league, don't you?
That's true, yeah. It is a win for St. Vincent, 3-1.
Yeah, and then move up into third place for now. And our final fixture for game week number 1 is Nicaragua and Suriname.
I'd say these two are the biggest guns in this. These two.
I completely agree. The top two ranked in terms of FIFA rankings.
Yep. Nicaragua dropped down to this preliminary league. Suriname been champions of this league before.
Don't they? Yeah, they've won it a few times.
Win for Nicaragua, 2-0.
Starting as they need to go on, surely. Good result for Nicaragua there. And next up, it will be the start of game week 2, which starts with our dud team, Bahamas, as they take on Belize.
Yep, so Belize going to be on 4 points at the end of this fixture. So, you know, they've dropped a couple of points, but still haven't lost as of yet of Belize.
They've got a great flag. Look at that.
It's like, it's Laos's flag, but with stuff on it.
I've never seen Kay Morton be a ref before. Who's that?
Carl Morton. He's a new referee we've got. We've just employed him.
There you go. RJ has been sacked.
RJ's been sacked and probably arrested. There's currently a disciplinary hearing going on for him.
Yeah, he's in court on Thursday.
Yeah. No, knowing how corrupt the global trophy court system is, he'll probably be back for the European qualifiers.
Yeah, don't doubt it.
Yeah.
Bermuda and Barbados next up.
Yeah, Barbados kicked off with a win, but that was against the dud team. Bermuda got a draw.
Yeah, a 2-2 draw in their first fixture.
Yep, against Belize. It's a win for Barbados, 2-1.
Move on to 6 points at the top of the leaderboard for now.
Cayman Islands next. They're going up against Dominica. Both teams kicked off with a victory.
Yep. See how they get on here.
It's another win for the Cayman Islands, 3-1. Are they going to be able to make it through this time round?
They might be able to. They're currently 2 for 2. It's a good start for the Cayman Islands. Cuba taking on Grenada next up. Two teams that didn't win their first game. They both lost, in fact. They lost to the two teams that just played.
Yep, but they didn't lose incredibly badly, so not really a big slouch on them. Win for Cuba, though, 1-0.
Good result for Cuba then. Move them up into 8th spot for now.
Yep, now we get to two teams who did win in their first fixture. It's Guyana versus Puerto Rico.
Guyana, of course, beating poor old Montserrat.
Puerto Rico with a very interesting win there on their side as well against St. Lucia. Win for Guyana, 5-1. Biggest win of the league so far.
Yeah, puts Guyana top on goal difference for now. Can St. Lucia and Montserrat recover from their defeats in the first fixture?
Well, one of them probably will. Yeah, St. Lucia, 4-0.
There you go. As it is.
And Montserrat still below the dud.
Yep, on goal difference now. Not even on alphabetical order. It's a shambles for them. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they take on Suriname. Suriname, of course, they didn't actually win their first game, which is rare for them. They normally do quite well in these preliminary leagues.
Yep, they were against Nicaragua, who dropped down. So Suriname have taken on the two biggest teams, apart from them.
First of all.
That might be in Suriname's favour.
Yeah, they get to avoid all the nasty fixtures later on.
Yep, to get them out of the way. St. Vincent win 2-0, so Suriname currently in 14th place, but they've taken on the two big teams. I think they're going to start rocketing up the table now.
They could do. Nicaragua, they take on Dominican Republic. A big win for Nicaragua could put them top of the table, but it'd have to be a very big win.
It's a draw, 0-0. So Nicaragua in 6th for the moment.
That surprised me. That's a good result for Dominican Republic.
Yep, certainly is. A point on the board for them. Bermuda are going to be able to get their first win on the board as well as they take on our dud team, Bahamas.
So far, Suriname, who are probably one of the favourite... Oh, there you go. So Bermuda's got a British colony. Look at that. Yeah, you'd probably say so far, Suriname probably the big surprise, being quite low down the table after 2 games. Obviously, they played the 2 big teams, but, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, now Suriname do need to start moving up, because they've played the 2 bigger teams, they've lost. Now's their time to start moving. And it's going to be interesting to see sort of the comeback of Suriname, I guess, if it even happens. But Suriname usually are in like the top 3, top 4 when it comes to these. They usually qualify mostly quite considerably. So, you know, you never know. You never know.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Barbados, currently in 2nd place. They will take on Belize in 5th.
Say Barbados the favourites here, given how results have gone so far.
So let's say that at the moment. 6 teams unbeaten so far. That's now only 5. Belize with the win.
That's a surprise for me. Barbados slipping down to 4th place.
Yep, for the moment, Cayman Islands also unbeaten. They take on Grenada.
Yep, Grenada, who I think are yet to win. Yes, they are. They're yet to get off the board. They've had 2 1-0 losses. They would take on the Cayman Islands, who are currently on 6 points.
Yep, so good for them so far for the Cayman Islands. It is another win for the Cayman Islands. 3 in a row.
And a defeat again for Grenada that puts them down the table. Not great for them.
Yep, at the moment, 4 teams, if you include our dud, not scored a point as of yet. And one of them is Suriname, which is shocking so far. But never know, maybe fixture 3, they'll start bouncing up. Cuba, currently in 9th place, take on Dominica in 10th. Both teams with a win and a loss apiece.
Big win for either team. Could put them as high as 3rd, but it'd have to be a very big win.
It would have to be massive on that one. It is a draw between the 2. It begins again. Both teams on 4 points now.
Yep, indeed they are. Guyana have a chance to go back to the top of the table with a win here over St. Lucia. St. Lucia, okay start for them. You know, a win and a loss.
It's not been too bad for St. Lucia so far. That's a draw, so 4 points for them. Guyana goes 2nd for now.
Yep, on to 7 points for Guyana. Montserrat and Puerto Rico next. Puerto Rico won their last fixture. They need to beat Montserrat as well if they've got any chance of kind of keeping up with that group ahead of them.
Yep, Montserrat need a miracle.
A miracle.
5-0 Puerto Rico. They move up to 6th.
And that puts Montserrat back to the foot of the table.
There we go again.
Very good.
Ooh, the big 2 now battling it out. St. Vincent and Nicaragua.
And of course, Nicaragua have won and lost a game so far. St. Vincent and the Grenadines have won both. A win for St. Vincent will put them top of the table, overtaking the Cayman Islands.
Yep. Nicaragua have won and drawn. They're currently unbeaten so far. They haven't let in a goal yet.
No, they haven't.
But St. Vincent haven't dropped a point. Big win for St. Vincent, 3-0.
So Nicaragua down to 11th place.
Just because that 5 teams on 4 at the moment.
True enough.
Right, Suriname. This is their chance to start moving up. A victory for them puts them in the 12th against Dominican Republic. A victory for Dominican Republic means that there's even more teams on 4 points.
And it would be alarm bells ringing for Suriname, I think, if they don't win this one.
Certainly will. Win for Suriname, 3-1. They move up to 12th.
That's what they needed. That's what they need. And the Cayman Islands are going to extend their lead at the top of the table as they get the dud team Bahamas.
4 in a row for the Cayman Islands. The team,
what's going on?
The team just above.
Oh, here we go. So is it going to be RJ Fernandez? If it is.
Oh, geez, yeah. I forgot about that. No, it's not. It's Polyrakis.
Okay, so there's no conspiracy.
He's been arrested. He's been arrested.
We're safe. We're safe from the conspirators.
Fernandez has been... He's probably wanting to referee that one, but he's been arrested already.
True that.
Well, there you go. At least that's one thing. So, when it comes to if I was to do, for example, another sort of like highlights for the Global Trophy, we could just have one about RJ Fernandez himself.
Exactly. He is he's the guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like the star referee of the show, but still we prefer Vinny.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't prefer Vinny Jones? All right, so Cayman Islands, 4 wins for them so far. It's a brilliant beginning for the Cayman Islands.
Yeah, a perfect start. But will it continue? Cuba and Barbados next up. Barbados down in 5th place after losing their 3rd game, sorry. And Cuba have a result at each column. 1 win, 1 draw, 1 defeat.
Yep, so Barbados, highest of the teams who haven't lost as of yet. Win for Cuba, 2-0. That's a shock. 2 losses in a row for Barbados.
They slipped down to 7th, and Cuba move up to 5th place. That's a decent effort from them so far.
Very good from Cuba. 7 points out of 12. That's quite good.
Dominica and Belize next up. Dominica down in 10th, Belize in 4th.
Yep, one of the 4 unbeaten teams so far. Draw between the 2.
I mean, I think they'll take it. Belize, Dominica probably not. Only in 8th place currently.
Yep, if they can stay there, that'd be quite good, but that could change very quickly. We have Grenada now versus Bermuda.
Grenada have lost every game 1-0 so far. Bermuda up in 10th place. Not a great start for them, but their only win has come from the dud team.
Yep, a victory for them will put them above Barbados and Dominica at least in this fixture. It is a win for Grenada, 4-1.
And their goal difference is still level.
Yep, but they've been able to bounce back and push Suriname into 13th for now.
Yeah, but not even in the top half of the table. Poor old Suriname.
Yep.
Guyana and St. Vincent next up.
Big top of the table clash here. Both teams unbeaten.
Yep, St. Vincent with a perfect record so far. A win for them will put them back at the top of the table.
Is a win for St. Vincent. 2-0. They move above the Cayman Islands for now.
On goal difference, yep, Masterath now take on the Dominican Republic. Two teams down towards the bottom of the table. A point between the two of them.
Yep, and that point was Dominican Republic. Win for Dominican Republic, 3-0 Montserrat, back below. Well, they stay below the dud team for the moment.
And they will do for the next game week as well, unless they get a point.
Yep, Puerto Rico currently in 6th place versus Suriname, who are right down in 14th.
It's a bit of a shock, isn't it, for Suriname? I think they need to win this one. Puerto Rico currently doing quite well.
Certainly are. Draw between the two.
Interesting.
I think Puerto Rico
Very
will take that. Suriname, this is bad for the former champions.
Yet of this preliminary league, down in 13th place as we end game week 4 with St. Lucia and Nicaragua.
Nicaragua currently 12th place. St. Lucia currently in 9th. Draw again!
This isn't the performance I expected from Nicaragua, I can't lie.
Yeah, it's not going well for Nicaragua. Barbados aren't doing great. Suriname is really falling. Cayman Islands have been the biggest outliers when it comes to good performances here.
Yeah, I completely agree.
4 in 4 for them so far.
Absolutely. But one does include the dud, I suppose, so you have to kind of take that into consideration. Speaking of the dud, Bahamas are going to take on Cuba for game week number 5.
Yep. I mean,
which means Cuba will move on to 10 points.
Yep. I mean, hey, even if Cayman Islands didn't get the dud, and like let's say lost their next match, they'd still be 2nd place. Yeah, that's sort of that top 2 there, and then everyone else right now.
It's interesting. It is very interesting, isn't it? You know, the big teams that we kind of expected to motor through haven't done so yet.
Yep,
There's no saying that they won't do later on.
Yeah, with the possible exception of St. Vincent, who have done quite good so far. But yeah, I mean, Nicaragua, Barbados, Suriname, really not doing well.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico's doing quite well so far as well.
And indeed Cuba here, because obviously they've moved into onto 10 points. They're going to put themselves into, I think, into 3rd place currently.
Yes, right into that contention there. And Cuba usually get the dud here. But they made it through to the Global Trophy Finals last time round, not being the dud. So can they do it 2 in a row? Cayman Islands, this is a big challenge for Cayman Islands. They've got Barbados.
Yeah. This is a test for them, isn't it? If they can win this one, then maybe the Cayman Islands' potential is real.
Maybe the Cayman Islands are for real. Maybe the hype is real for the Cayman Islands. Win for Barbados, 2-0. Cayman Islands lose their first match.
Yeah, and it puts St. Vincent clear at the top of the table for now. Grenada take on Belize next up. Grenada way down the table. Belize in 5th at the moment.
Good for Belize so far. One of only 2 teams now currently unbeaten. That stays the same. It is another draw for Belize.
Yep, good result there for Belize.
Bermuda now will take on Dominica. Bermuda currently in 12th. Dominica in 9th. And it's another... It's happening again.
So many draws.
It's happening again, isn't it?
I love the draw bracket. It's my favourite.
Oh, yeah. That's brilliant. Guyana. They've got Dominican Republic next. Dominican Republic currently in 13th place. Guyana up in 6th so far.
Yeah, not a terrible run for Guyana so far. They had that big win earlier on. They've got, I say, Dominican Republic's not an easy game to win, but it's a winnable one.
Yep. Win for Guyana puts them 3rd. It is a win for Guyana. 3-2.
Win just about.
Oh,
got a win
well,
nonetheless.
St. Vincent is going to be 3 up.
Yep, got them. Let's see. How many is it going to be?
It's 4. They'll take it. And up 3 points.
Yeah, that's crucial for them. And they're 9 points clear of 8th place.
Yep. Puerto Rico, Nicaragua next up.
This is a test for Puerto Rico. I think if they win this one, they can kind of consider themselves in the fight for qualification. If Nicaragua win it, then maybe they will be.
Yeah, then they're really in the fight if Nicaragua will win. They do, and they're up into 7th place.
Good result there for Nicaragua. And this is another crucial one for 2 teams with aspirations of qualification. Suriname down in 14th. After a third of the fixtures, they take on St. Lucia, who are in 10th.
Yep. Big win needed for both sides. Win for St. Lucia! What has happened to Suriname?
Suriname down in 14th.
After fixture 5, Suriname is in 14th. The lowest team apart from Montserrat is the former America's preliminary champion.
Well, well, well. What's going on? Bahamas and Dominica kick off game week 6.
Yep, that will move Dominica into the top 8 for now. But Dominica got a worse goal difference than a lot of teams around them, so they may not stay there for too much longer.
No, that's true. That is true. They've got an eagle on their flag though. That's you know, or is it a parrot?
Vinny!
He's back.
Big Vinny! Big Vinny! Of course he'd be here after how good it was. After how good the America's Preliminary League was last year. Big Vinny's here.
Oh, thank Christ. At long last, Vinny's back. I missed him.
RJ Fernandez gets bloody arrested. And what does that do? That opens up the door for Big Vinny Jones to referee a match and punch everyone, you know, and make movies like Midnight Meat Train, you know. What a name of a movie that is. It's a real movie as well, and I love that. Midnight Meat Train. What a name.
What a film.
It's a horror movie about trains.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Grenada. They take on Barbados next. Barbados currently in 6th place. Grenada down in 12th still.
Yeah, you'd probably say Barbados are the favourites here, considering how they've performed so far.
Certainly would. It is another win for Barbados. They move up to 3rd for now.
It's starting to get a bit of form going, aren't they, Barbados? Belize and the Cayman Islands next up.
Yep, Cayman Islands good in 2nd place at the moment. Belize could leapfrog them with a win. They will leapfrog them with a win, actually. They do! 3-0! Belize up to 2nd place.
Cayman Islands slipping down the order now. 2 losses back-to-back. They're in 4th place. They are only 4 points above 8th.
They do need to try and get a move back going again. Bermuda now will take on Cuba. Cuba currently in 6th place. So far, Bermuda down in 11th.
Yeah, but a win would take them level on points with St. Lucia and Nicaragua in that 8th and 9th kind of spot. A Cuba win lifts them up into 2nd place.
Up in the 2nd for Cuba, and Cuba would certainly want that. It's a win for Bermuda, though. I'd say that's a bit of an upset.
I'd say so too. Bermuda move up into 9th place and now have a level goal difference, move above Nicaragua.
Yep, but Nicaragua with a game in hand. Suriname really need to start motoring. They've got Guyana next to her, currently in 5th place.
Guyana have been playing well. This isn't going to be an easy one for Suriname.
It's 2-1. Suriname do get the win, and we finally get to see them in the top half, at least for now.
Yep, and Nicaragua take on poor old Montserrat.
Should we just... Oh, bloody hell, only 1-0. Fair play to Montserrat. They haven't scored a goal yet in this tournament, though.
They haven't, and they are still below the dud team after 6 fixtures.
Yep. Puerto Rico now, currently... They dropped significantly down to 11th place at the moment. They take on the current leader, St. Vincent, who could go 6 clear with a win.
Big moment for St. Vincent. This will probably pretty much guarantee them the title, wouldn't it?
Could be runaway leaders here. It is a win for St. Vincent. 6 ahead. Dominant so far. Dominican Republic take on St. Lucia next. St. Lucia currently in 9th place. Not doing too bad. Dominican Republic, pretty much where Suriname was previously.
Yeah, but a win would lift them above Suriname once again.
Certainly would. It is a draw between the two.
So it doesn't lift them above Suriname, but it does lift them at least above Grenada.
Yep, and St. Lucia now into that 8th place spot for now. We move into fixture 7 and Grenada, who are going to get some points.
And lift themselves above Suriname in the process.
Yep, and lift themselves above Puerto Rico as well, who have just dropped.
Kind of collapsed, haven't they? Yeah, collapsed.
But yeah, it's... can Suriname resurge quick enough? Because the moment they're in the top 12 now, and it's still very close between the rest of the teams at the moment, obviously apart from our current runaway leaders, St. Vincent.
To be fair, I still think they're probably going to finish like towards the top of the table. I've just got a feeling because, as I said, they have done it before. They've done it several times, and let's face it, they've played a lot of the big teams already.
Yep, so it could be just win, 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 win from here on.
Exactly.
Could be the case after probably the worst start for Suriname, I think, in the preliminary league so far. But they are currently in 13th place. But, you know, they're not actually too far. There's 5 points between 2nd and 13th.
Yeah, it's so close. Like 2 game weeks, it's back on, isn't it?
Yeah. Barbados, currently in 3rd place. Good for them so far. They take on Dominica in 9th.
A win here for Dominica, a decent win for them, would lift them above Barbados.
Yep, that will move them into the top 5. It is a win for Dominica!
And they move up to 3rd place.
Big result for them. Belize, can they keep the pressure on St. Vincent and the Grenadines, or could St. Vincent potentially move like 9 clear?
I mean, Belize need to do a job here on Cuba. Cuba down in 8th now.
Win for Cuba puts them 2nd for now. It is a win for Cuba! Belize lose their first match.
So the last unbeaten team will be St. Vincent and the Grenadines up in 1st place. That's a good result for them. Bermuda and the Cayman Islands next up. Cayman Islands down in 6th now.
Yep, down in 6th. Bermuda lower than them in 10th place.
A win for Bermuda lifts them up into the... Oh, it's not going to matter.
Big win for the Cayman Islands there. They're back on winning ways.
Moves them up to 2nd place in the table. Nicaragua and Guyana next up. Nicaragua in 7th. Guyana now down in 8th.
Yep, that one loss for Guyana really has stunted them for the moment. Not for long. Guyana win.
And moves themselves back up to 3rd place above Cuba and below the Cayman Islands.
Yep, well, okay. The resurgence is still on.
For Suriname.
Yep, they do take on the goalless Montserrat. The pointless Montserrat. The useless Montserrat. St. Vincent with the win and... Suriname with the win, and they move to 9th place now.
Yep, only 5 points off of 2nd place. That's a good, so far so good for Suriname. They're kind of moving through the table. Puerto Rico take on Dominican Republic. Puerto Rico down in 13th now.
Yep, they have considerably dropped. And they keep losing. Dominican Republic win.
Oh dear, Puerto Rico, what's happened to you? You were looking so good.
Yep, St. Vincent could keep their 6 points clear going after fixture 7 if they can beat St. Lucia.
6 wins out of 6 so far for St. Vincent. Can they make it 7?
Can they make it 7? No, they can't! St. Lucia win!
So there will be no unbeaten team in this preliminary league, and it's a win for St. Lucia, who move up to 5th place.
Yep, just like last year. There was no unbeaten team last year either. That means St. Vincent, well, they're not going to be... They may still be a runaway leader, but they got to be wary about looking behind them now.
Yep, and speaking of which, teams behind them, Guyana, are going to move within 2 points of our leaders as they take on Bahamas, the dud team, at the start of game week 8. We are halfway through now, or getting towards halfway through.
Yep, and it's...
the final preliminary league.
It's still incredible. I'd say still it's very close right now. I mean, Suriname have bounced... It's Vinny, look at him. Yes.
He's back again. He knows it's here.
Big Vinny's back again. This is a no RJ zone, and Vinny's here for a 2nd round. He liked the first one so much, he's back for a 2nd round. Good old Vinny. Never leave again. Wasn't there a point where he just wasn't in any of the Global Trophy things for about 2 years? We thought he'd left us. It's so horrifying. We don't want Vinny to go. He's the greatest ref. Best ref. Barbados, currently in 8th place. They take on the useless Montserrat.
Poor old the nation of Montserrat is going to declare war on you if you're not careful.
Well, they... Look.
10-0.
Am I right? Where's the lie here?
Right. I mean, I tell you what, that's a big win for Barbados as well, because that is going to do a wonder for their goal difference as well.
Yeah,
look at that now.
Yep, they got the same goal difference as St. Vincent.
Exactly, that's massive, because every other team has been beating them like 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, maybe, but not 10.
Yep, Barbados with the biggest win of the preliminary league so far, of this preliminary league. Puerto Rico now, they are dropping like a fly, really, at the moment. They've got Belize, who currently lie in 7th place.
Yeah, but a win for Belize could, potentially with a big win, would lift them as high as 3rd.
It could. This is where it's 2-0, right? No, it's a draw, actually, between the two.
And it's a, well, It's a good point for Puerto Rico, I guess. It lifts them back above Bermuda.
Yeah, puts them back into sort of contention, I guess, but Bermuda could take that back. They'll take on St. Lucia, who are currently in 7th place.
Because St. Lucia inflicting the only defeat on St. Vincent so far.
Yep, St. Lucia looking to keep the momentum going. They can, 2-1, up into the top 4.
At top of the table clash now, then Cayman Islands, who are down in 5th currently, but a win will lift them level on points with St. Vincent and the Grenadines. St. Vincent, of course, can go 5 clear.
Yep, 5 clear with a win for St. Vincent. It is a win for St. Vincent, 4-0, and they keep their stranglehold on the top of the table for now.
Yep, keeps that momentum going, and a good recovery from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Dominican Republic in 12th, take on Cuba in 7th.
Cuba desperately wanting to stay in that top 7 for now. Win for Cuba, they move up to 3rd.
Yep, good result, and a good result for their goal difference as well. They move up into joint 2nd place with Guyana.
Can the resurgence carry on for Suriname? They've got Dominica, who currently are in that 8th place dud spot.
Yeah, but the two teams will switch places if Suriname get the win here.
It is a win for Suriname. They're in the top 8 now.
They are indeed, and it will be currently a dud spot for Suriname, but I'm sure they will keep motoring up that table.
Yep. They may go back down to 9th, though. Nicaragua have got Grenada in the final fixture of the 7th. Of the 8th.
7th game week. Yeah,
it's a draw. It's not looking good for Nicaragua now.
No, they're only in 10th. They are only 4 points off of 2nd, though.
Oh, no!
Montserrat!
Oh,
they get 3 points.
They get points. No.
Well, there you go. Montserrat get the points.
We should have a shield like some guy with a telescope, just going, oh, what's that? Oh, I think it's erupting again. Oh, why do we build our city where we did? Oh no, death. All right. Anyway, enough Montserrat bashing. They're no longer below Bahamas, but
well,
they are quite bad in this, aren't they?
Will they score any other points other than the dud win, though? That's
Will they score any? Will they score any goals other than that?
I think they will. I think they will.
Well, if not, it may be one of the worst performances
we've ever seen.
We've ever seen.
Like with this, I think this is probably the weakest preliminary league of them all. Like relative to the competition they're going to go into in the Americas section, I think it's kind of, it says a lot that they're getting absolutely bantered every single game week, really, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, at the moment we've got 4 points separating 2nd from 10th so far. So, but then there's a big 4-point gap between Nicaragua and Grenada.
Yeah, I think that kind of top 10 is starting to pull away a little bit. Grenada, Puerto Rico, they need to kind of start motoring on, otherwise they're going to get left behind.
Certainly are. Barbados. They are next in 4th place versus Guyana in 2nd right now.
Yeah, it's been a good run for Guyana here, but I think Barbados probably the favourites for this one.
Certainly has. Will Guyana's run carry on? No, it won't. Barbados with the win 1-0 moves them up 2 ahead of a team they just beaten.
Yep, and St. Lucia will take on Belize, kind of both in the top 7 at the moment. St. Lucia in 5th.
Yeah, big crunch match for both these teams here. It's a win for Belize. They jumped St. Lucia.
And go level on points with both Cuba and Guyana.
Good result there for Belize. Bermuda next up. They got Puerto Rico.
Bermuda below Puerto Rico in the table at the moment. So this
4 teams on 8.
Yeah, it's kind of to keep tabs with that rest of that group, isn't it, really?
Certainly is. It's a draw between the two. That helps neither of them.
Correct. Well done.
Really doesn't help either of them. Dominican Republic currently in 14th place. They got the Cayman Islands who are in that 7th place spot now.
Yeah, they've dropped down quite a lot. They need to win this one, Cayman Islands, to keep tabs, really.
Yep, a win would put them into 3rd. A massive win will put them into 2nd. It's a draw. Of course it's a draw. Of course it's a draw.
So look at that. They've now got 4 teams tied on 16 points.
Yep, and then 1 on 15. It's quite nuts right now, but still with Suriname, Nicaragua, and Dominica still to play as well.
St. Vincent have got Cuba, first of all, though. St. Vincent could go 6 clear at the top of the table with a win here.
Yep, Cuba, if they win, they could lower that down to 2. It's
a draw.
It's the gag that just keeps on coming along. It's a draw. Maybe let's just get like just T-shirts, merch printed of just "It's a draw" and just has all the names of Central American teams.
Just has like a map of Central America. And just says "It's a draw."
Yeah, that'll do. That'll do just fine. There you go. Merch sales. Maybe someone will bloody buy it. I will. Next up, Dominica takes on Nicaragua.
Yep, 2 teams outside of that top 8 currently. A win for either of them lifts them into it though.
Or a draw. No, it isn't actually. Okay, fair enough. Win for Dominica, though.
A win for Dominica puts them into 8th place for now.
Not good for Nicaragua at all.
No, they're 3 points behind 8th place now. That's not good. That's not good at all.
Can Suriname keep the resurgence going? And
win here could put them as high as 4th if it's a big win.
It's 2-0. Suriname up to 6th, so they're in that top 8 now.
They are. Like, they kind of started slowly, but they have recovered very well, haven't they, Suriname?
Yep. Puerto Rico with 3 big points here.
Yeah, they're kind of stopping that rot, aren't they?
Yep,
that they've kind of been going through.
Yep, that's going to put them on 12, which really puts them in that fight again.
Yep, because I think it puts them level with Nicaragua. Nicaragua have not been strong, have they? I expected better.
Yeah, it seems like obviously Suriname had a really bad start, but they've just punched back. Win. Nicaragua, they haven't been impressive at all here.
There's not been one moment where I'll be like, okay, that's you can see the momentum building. Suriname obviously they've won, I think 4 or 5 in a row now.
Yep, and now they're in that top 8, but yeah, Nicaragua they haven't been like that at all.
No, and I think crucially for Suriname as well, they still have their dud team fixture to play, haven't they?
Ah, yes, they certainly do on that one. So that's going to be an extra. That's going to be more points for Suriname there. Barbados now, currently in 2nd, take on St. Lucia in that dud spot in 8th.
A win for St. Lucia would potentially put them up into 3rd place. A Barbados win reduces that gap down to St. Vincent down to just 1 point.
Certainly does. Win for Barbados.
And only 1 point behind the leader, St. Vincent and the Grenadines now.
Yep, at least for now, until St. Vincent play their 10th fixture, which they could still lose, but they could also win as well. Belize, currently in 5th, take on Guyana in 4th.
I think it's a big match for both of these two because they're only 1 point, both of them, in 4th and 5th, above 9th place.
Yeah,
it's so close.
It's a very important match for both sides here. Win for Guyana!
That puts them into 3rd on 19 points. They get a little bit of daylight.
Bermuda could also get into this section as well.
As they've got it's Montserrat. Come on, they're going to win this.
Yeah, 4-0.
That's a good result as well. That's good for the goal difference. And Bermuda puts themselves into 11th place now.
Suriname, can they keep the ball rolling? They got Cayman Islands here. They're now on the same amount of points as the Cayman Islands.
Which is a far cry from where we were at the start of the competition. Suriname can motor themselves up into potentially 3rd place here.
Certainly could. It's a win for the Cayman Islands! What a move! What a win for them!
What a win! It puts Suriname in danger. They're in 7th now.
Yep, and they could be jumped by Dominica as well. Nicaragua have got Cuba next.
A Nicaraguan win puts them potentially up into 8th place, but they've got poor goal difference. Cuba, if they win here, could go up to 3rd.
Up to 3rd potentially for Cuba. Win for Nicaragua!
So they're on to 15 points. Look at the state of this.
Look at that.
We've got 15 points from 2 points separate 5th to 10th.
It is very close so far. Dominica, currently in 9th, take on St. Vincent, who could take their goals back, or take their points back to 4 ahead of Barbados with a win.
Dominica need to win this. A win here for Dominica puts them into 5th place.
Yep, it's a big win for Dominica if they can do it. They can't, but they do get a draw, though. So, St. Vincent being pulled back. Barbados now only 2 behind.
Yeah, it's within a game, isn't it? That's crucial for the teams chasing St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And this is basically to stay in it, isn't it? Pretty much between these two.
Pretty much, yeah. Dominican Republic versus Grenada.
Grenada are only on 0 goal difference, which is crazy.
Yep, they are at the moment. Win for Grenada! They move 1 spot. But they're on 11 points now, so yeah, it's 8 points from 3rd to 13th.
With 5 to go. It's still on for any of these teams.
St. Lucia getting a very vital 3 points. They get their dud next.
Yep, and it moves them into game week 11, so not many games to go now.
Yep.
I love St. Lucia's flag, by the way. It was one of my favourites.
It is nice, isn't it? It is nice.
It just looks good. It lifts them, I think, up to 4th or 5th, St. Lucia.
I think
this is great
5th.
for them.
But then, obviously, you got to think about all the teams that are currently essentially falling over each other to try and get those top 7 places, or top 8, I guess, if you want a dud. Obviously, they can't all keep winning because some of them may play against each other, and that's where you can take your moment to strike. And getting the dud team this late on, when you're really in contention, that's crucial.
Absolutely. This is it now. This is the crunch time to start. You know, if you're going to make your plays, make them now.
Yeah, speaking of make your plays, Puerto Rico need to do one now. They've got Barbados, who are currently in 2nd place.
A win for Barbados will put them top for now, which is a great run from Barbados, isn't it?
Certainly would. Win for Barbados. They go above St. Vincent for now, and Belize could, with a big win, go up to 3rd against Montserrat.
Montserrat's basically like a second dud team. It's like, if you've played Montserrat already, is like, you know, is that a bad thing? You know, potential 3 points.
Certainly could be. It's 8-0 Belize.
That's a huge win for
Montserrat
Belize.
still yet to score a goal.
Well, they scored 3 against the dud team.
Yeah, but that's a dud team. They haven't scored. Okay, they haven't scored against another team in open play.
Yeah, fair. So it puts Belize up into 3rd, and the goal difference again could be crucial later on.
Certainly could. Guyana now. They will take on Bermuda next. Bermuda have fought back. They're into 11th now. They need to keep that win going, that winning streak going. Guyana have been in that top 4 for a while.
Yeah, and a win here would put them 5 clear with 4 games to go.
Very crucial for Guyana. Win for Bermuda! That's a big win!
Keeps Bermuda in the hunt really, and it puts Nicaragua down to 11th again.
Yeah, they could bounce right back though, and essentially a big win puts them into 6th place. A win puts them into 7th. They got the Cayman Islands, who are currently in 5th place after their very, very big win over Suriname earlier.
Yeah, and the thing is, the win for the Cayman Islands here puts them into 3rd place, but if they don't win this, it kind of drags them into the competition, doesn't it?
Certainly does, with Cuba, Dominica, and Suriname still yet to play. Draw between the 2! Do you know what? I think Cayman Islands will take that.
It puts teams between them and everyone else, doesn't it? That's the thing.
Yep, especially with Suriname and Cuba, 2 of those teams we spoke about earlier. They're against each other now.
Suriname in 9th? What's going on?
Yep, they're trying to fight back. They will jump Cuba. A big enough win could put them into 4th, but it'll need to break the current Americas section record. It's 1-0. They'll take it though. Cuba in. Oh, not again. No Cuba.
Not like this.
Dud again at the moment for Cuba. Dominican Republic versus Dominica. Big, crunch match. Dominican Republic desperately needs something now, but I think it could very well be all over for them very soon.
Yeah, a win here for Dominica, I think, pretty much rules them out, doesn't it?
Not
mathematically, but certainly realistically.
Certainly theoretically on that one. It's a win for Dominican Republic! That's a big win!
It is a big win, and it pushes them onto 12 points. It puts them within 5 points of the dud, 6 points. It is still on.
It is still on.
St. Vincent and Grenada are pretty much out of it at this point. St. Vincent, a win here will put them back to the top of the table.
Yeah, Grenada's still in as well at the moment, but they'll need to get at least something, maybe even a draw out of St. Vincent.
Yep.
They do actually get a draw.
Wowee.
Barbados
aren't top anymore.
Barbados top, but okay, it didn't take long.
No, it didn't take long.
But
well.
But St. Vincent are going to go back to the top of the table because they have their dud now against Bahamas. This is close to the point that apart from Montserrat, everyone's in with a shout.
I'd say probably here. I think, does this qualify St. Vincent? I think it might do, actually.
I think it does. Yeah, I think this does qualify St. Vincent.
We'll check in a second, obviously, when we get to the table again. But I think it's basically put them through.
Yeah.
Just because there's so many teams that got to play each other. That's the thing.
This has been another amazing preliminary league.
The Americas section preliminary league always delivers, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's just that crazy league. It's just like the teams are so evenly matched because they're all so bad.
But if you look at it this way, right, apart from Montserrat and the dud team, everyone's still in with 4 games to go.
So we'll just say, St. Vincent are not yet qualified. They can be caught by Nicaragua and Dominica potentially, but it's a big ask.
It is. Dominican Republic. They will take on Barbados next.
A win for Barbados will also put them into that kind of almost there bracket.
Certainly would. Win for Dominican Republic! Another win for them!
They're back on the contention path. Look at this.
Certainly are. Suriname, who are now in 6th place, take on Belize, who are in 4th.
A win for Belize here would put Suriname back in trouble, and a win for Suriname, of course, would lift them as high as 3rd.
A draw for the pair of them, and, well, it's not great for either. It is a win for Belize!
Belize up into 3rd place, and Suriname now can be overtaken by all those teams behind them.
It's not looking good for them. Bermuda now, they are in 11th place. They take on Nicaragua in 10th. This is a 6-pointer, this is.
A win for either puts them into 7th place. A win for Nicaragua could put them as high as 6th.
Puts them into contention. Win for Bermuda, 4-0! That's huge!
And bad for the goal difference as well.
Yeah, that is, especially with so many teams so close, it could come down to goal difference.
It really could do. It really could do.
Cayman Islands, currently in 4th place, take on Guyana in 5th.
A win for either of these two would put a real statement down, wouldn't it?
Vital for either team. Draw, of course. Draw.
Why wouldn't it be?
Why wouldn't it be? Cuba, I mean, it is Montserrat. 4-0, yep, Cuba, up to 5th they go.
And it puts Suriname down into 7th now, with Puerto Rico and Dominica to play, and then, of course, St. Lucia still to play as well.
Yep, Puerto Rico and Dominica. Dominica currently in 10th place.
10th.
Puerto Rico currently in 14th, but still in with a shout.
Puerto Rico need to win this, though, don't they?
They certainly do. It is a win for Dominica. That's not good for Puerto Rico. They're not out yet, but they are very close to being eliminated.
It's worse for Suriname, because look, they're now in 8th.
Yeah, they could drop even lower here, though, if St. Lucia at least get a draw against Grenada.
A win for St. Lucia puts them into, I think, into 4th.
Yeah, I think it does. It's a draw. Oh, big points for Dominican Republic here.
Have they left it too little too late? Maybe they haven't, because they are moving up the table.
Yep, they are currently 1 point off, I think, 7th and 6th, so it's certainly not all over for Dominican Republic. They've made an amazing comeback.
Literally from nowhere as well. They were awful at the start, and suddenly they're just like, oh, okay, we'll start playing properly now. And they've just suddenly woken up.
Yep, at the moment, Puerto Rico may be eliminated at the end of this fixture. But still, that leaves 13 teams.
In with a shot.
And 8 places available. 7 without the dud spot available, so it's still very close.
Absolutely. This is the one, isn't it? I love this. This is great.
This is the focal point right here. Big top of the table clash here.
A win for Barbados will put them top of the table with enough of a goal swing. It has to be 2 or more, though.
Yep, St. Vincent could start motoring up for that title with a win, though. No, it's a win for Barbados!
So they're level on points.
Yep, which means St. Vincent is not... well, they're not safe yet.
No, they're not.
Belize, currently in 3rd place, they take on Nicaragua, who are down in 12th.
Yep, so a win here for Belize... it doesn't qualify them either. They need to keep scoring points, don't they?
Certainly do. That's all. Every point is vital here. Win for Belize, 2-1. They are now in a possible championship shot now.
Unbelievable. What an absolute carnage league this has been. Suriname in 9th, take on Bermuda in 10th. The winner here could go up to 4th place.
Yep, the winner could have a big statement coming up there. Win for Suriname. They're up to 4th for now. Oh, that is... Cayman Islands get Montserrat.
That could be crucial for them. Cayman Islands will lift themselves above Suriname with a win here.
Yep, and very much ahead of the chasing pack. Win for Cayman Islands! Are they going to qualify this year?
It's looking good for them at the moment. They still haven't mathematically qualified yet.
They are very close, though. Guyana. They are... Where are they? There they are. They are the 7th. Behind Cuba in 6th.
A win for either of them lifts them above Suriname. A draw for either doesn't lift them above Suriname.
Yep, it's a big match for both teams. Draw, of course it is. That doesn't
Not
help
really good
either.
enough for either of them. No, it doesn't.
It
This
might
is the
help
last
St. Lucia
game-
or Dominica.
Last game here, I think, of game week 13.
Yep. Win for St. Lucia. Up to 5th they go.
Oh no, sorry, we got Puerto Rico who are still in it, I guess.
They are still in it, yes.
They could still qualify technically.
Yep.
They've
Essentially,
got Grenada.
the winner of this is still in it. The loser is out. If it's a draw, they're both out.
Yep. So it's winner takes all for these two.
It's a draw. Out go Puerto Rico and Grenada. They are both gone. So we just have the top 12 left.
Suriname get 3 points against the Bahamas. Is that enough?
Vital for Suriname. That puts them into that top section. I think that might be enough, for Suriname.
They can still be caught, but it's going to take things to go horrendously against them.
I mean, if you look at it this way, there's still matches to play, yes, but there's only 2 fixtures left.
That's the thing, isn't it? That is the thing.
Your maximum amount of points you can get is tumbling at this point. Every single point you get here is vital.
And those 3 that Suriname are now going to get, obviously because they've just played the dud team, like it does put them in a really good position. It means teams in and around them all have to now win to overhaul them. I don't think they will do. I think Suriname are going to be safe now.
Yep, it's must win for them if they want to try and drag Suriname back down. Barbados get Nicaragua. Nicaragua need a win here, or they're out as well.
Yeah, this is it then. This is all or nothing for Nicaragua. They are win and you're in, lose, you're out.
Draw and you're out as well. Win for Barbados, Nicaragua out!
That's a surprise. That's a big surprise. And Barbados are the first team to qualify.
Yeah, Barbados have qualified. St. Vincent and Belize next up.
Can both join them. They can both join them.
They could both join them, certainly here in the top of the table clash. Win for St. Vincent! St. Vincent qualify as well.
The Barbados have not yet qualified. All those teams behind them, as low down as Dominica can still technically overhaul them.
Yep, Dominican Republic. They will take on Bermuda. Dominican Republic, a massive comeback they've made. They need to keep it going, though.
Need to beat Bermuda. Both teams need to win here to stay in contention.
Certainly do. Win for Bermuda. Dominican Republic are still in. Barely, but they may not be by the end of the fixture. Cayman Islands could potentially qualify here.
And they'll go into 3rd place.
Yep, against Puerto Rico, who are obviously very much out of it already.
Yep, they are indeed.
Win for the Cayman Islands! There we go! They're not safe
qualified.
yet, but they probably will be by the end of the fixture. So Cayman Islands might have done enough.
Yep, I think it is still possible that they can get overhauled, but they can only finish as low as dud, I think.
Yeah, Cuba. They take on St. Lucia next that's a big crunch match. It's 6th versus 7th.
Yep, a win for either of these teams here. A win for St. Lucia could put them safe, actually.
Certainly could. Win for St. Lucia! That's not looking good for Cuba.
Especially, Guyana have got Dominica next up, so a win for either of these teams, and it puts Cuba down to 8th.
Certainly does. Big win for Guyana there. They move to 7th as we go into the final fixture. And so who is safe here? Wow, a lot of teams are safe.
So St. Vincent and Barbados are both safe. So is the Cayman Islands and Belize. St. Lucia
and Suriname are both.
And Suriname.
They're both safe as well.
Yep, so it is just Guyana who near enough are safe, but they can get overhauled because the goal difference is so tight between themselves, Cuba and Bermuda.
Yep, and of course there's still the battle for the dud team, I guess. Dominican Republic still in with a shout there as well. Grenada get Montserrat in their final match.
But all the good, it'll lift them above Nicaragua for now.
Oh no, wait, no, it's not their final match. Oh, jeez.
Oh. Grenada got Montserrat then, so Grenada win here lifted into contention for the dud.
Oh no, wait, no, they're still out because there's 4 points in between.
Yep. Yeah, they're gone.
Now we get to the next fixture, and Nicaragua, too little too late for Nicaragua. They do get the dud.
Get the final dud team. But they're out.
Yep, but they are already out, so this is going to be interesting. Who's going to face who? in
Absolutely.
this.
It is gonna come down to fixtures, isn't it? Really, because who's playing who? It's
Who's
gonna come
got
down to,
Montserrat?
that could be crucial, of course, because obviously that is a thing. Oh, just completely separate to the video. We're currently watching this as the Women's World Cup is happening, and Spain have scored.
Oh, damn. Okay, well that's not a good start then, I guess.
Yep. Still time.
No, still loads of time left. All right, final fixture. Pretty much, it's a battle for that 7th spot now. And Cuba's right there again. Of course they are.
Yep. Suriname take on... So Barbados could win the title with victory and St. Vincent not outscoring them. Suriname can go as high as 3rd with a win here.
Certainly could. Draw between the two. That opens the door for St. Vincent to win this.
It does. It does mean now that Cayman Islands cannot win the title.
Yep, they can't, but I think they'll be perfectly fine with qualifying, to be honest.
Yep, me too.
Dominican Republic take on Belize, so Belize are safe. They're through. Dominican Republic are... they could be the dud still. They got a chance to be in a dud, but they need a big they need a big goal difference overhaul here.
Yeah, they do. They need to win big, and they need to hope that Cuba and Bermuda lose big.
Win for Belize. So, there you go. Dominican Republic, a spirited effort to get back into it, but just too little too late. They are out. St. Vincent. Oh, this is a big match for Bermuda. They need this.
They do indeed. St. Vincent want to win the title.
Yep. A draw or more. St. Vincent win the title. It is a win. St. Vincent win the Americas Preliminary League.
Bermuda are eliminated unless Cuba get absolutely battered.
Yep.
And on goal difference fall down.
Yep. If Cuba lose by a bigger goal difference. But Cuba's still in with a chance of actually qualifying fully as well if Guyana mess up.
Indeed. These two have both qualified though, Cayman Islands and St. Lucia.
Yep. Cayman Islands could go 3rd with a win. St. Lucia could, well, with a big win, could also go 3rd. Win for St. Lucia. They go move to 4th. Cayman Islands down in 5th, but I think they'll take that.
Oh, I think I'm working it out here slowly. So Puerto Rico have Cuba. Does this mean that Guyana have Montserrat?
I think they might do. No, there's still a couple left. There's still Puerto Rico and Grenada, so they could have any of those.
Okay.
So Puerto Rico, Cuba, big match. This is a big win that's required for Cuba to have a chance of finishing 7th.
Yep, they need goals, don't they?
They need goals. 3-1. Oh, is that enough?
It could be. They've got, well, Dominica play Montserrat for all the good that's going to do Dominica.
So that means that Guyana have got Grenada.
It's not an easy one.
Dominica, they can't be the dud anymore. They're out. They do get Montserrat, who have not scored a bloody goal.
And conceded 62.
What a performance from Montserrat. Absolutely terrible. Okay, Guyana. All they need to do is not lose against Grenada.
This is it. If they anything other than a loss and they're through. If they do lose, they are the dud team, and Cuba survive.
Yep. If they lose, they need to lose by more than 2.
No, because if it's only 1,
because of goals scored.
Oh no, goal. Of course, yeah, of course, you're right.
It goes down to goals scored. So Grenada need to win by 2 for Cuba to not be the dud here. Any other result, Guyana is through. And Cuba are the dud. Wow!
Oh
Grenada 2-0! Cuba survive!
Wow! I don't believe it.
Cuba have gone through by the skin of their teeth!
By 1 goal in the last fixture because Guyana lost to Grenada.
Well, what a punch in the arm there for Guyana, losing out by 1 goal because they lost their last match 2-0. If they'd only lost by 1,
they'd be through.
They'd be through. They'd be through in 7th. But no, Guyana are the dud. Cuba breathes again to go through to their 2nd consecutive preliminary Americas section qualifiers as not a dud.
That was nuts. That was so close again. This bracket always delivers, doesn't it?
Always does. Let's go down the list, shall we? Bottom! With 3 Montserrats.
I think a stunning performance from Montserrat. You know, they conceded an average of 4 goals a game.
Yep.
Yeah,
Very,
not great.
very bad. And that's got to be probably one of the worst performances in the preliminary league, I think.
Considering the relative quality of the league as well, the fact that they didn't score a single goal is kind of embarrassing, really, isn't it?
Yep, very is from Montserrat. And yeah, Montserrat, when it comes to FIFA rankings, Dominica, Cayman Islands, and Bahamas are below them. That's it. So,
yep,
we may see him as dud. We may not see him at all in a later global trophy. Who knows? Depends on how good their national team does. Next up, 14th place with 13, Puerto Rico.
Started strongly and faded very quickly. I think kind of the relative quality of the league kind of showed towards the end.
Yep, they had a really good start, but just couldn't keep hold of it. 13th with 18, Dominican Republic.
A spirited comeback, but in the end falling well short of what was required to make the most of the competition. Shame for Dominican Republic. If they'd have started better, they probably could have gone through.
Certainly. 12th place with 19. Big shock here. Nicaragua.
Yeah, Nicaragua, a team that we probably won't see next year, you know, if all things being equal in the preliminary leagues, because they'll qualify via FIFA ranking. But, yep, that's the end of Nicaragua's competition this time around.
Yep, Nicaragua out of it. 11th with 20. Grenada.
That huge upset was probably their highlight of the competition. They started fairly poorly with an average result pattern. You know, they won 5, they drew 5, then they lost 5.
Yeah, not decently, I'd say, from Grenada there. Not bad.
Yep.
Next up, 10th with 21. Bermuda.
Left it too little too late for Bermuda, wasn't it, in the end? It's a shame for them, but not a bad effort. 21 points on the board. On another day, probably could have gone through.
Yep, 9th place with 22. A good effort, I'd say. Dominica.
Yeah, Dominica, I think, won't be upset by their scoring. I think they did okay, but just not enough steam in the end.
8th place with 24. Bottling it right at the end to be our dud team for the Americas section, Guyana.
It says a lot that they have a plus 10 goal difference and a team with plus 2 in Suriname have qualified, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Crazy.
Yep, 26 goals. Good for them. Like, that's what? The 4th highest in the league alongside, well, Bermuda, actually.
Yep.
7th. Scraping through by the skin of their teeth. Not being the dud with 24. Cuba.
Yeah, Cuba had their moments in the sun, but they also had their moments of disaster. But they did just about enough. They won their last game, which they needed to do, and they needed to hope that results went their way, and they did.
Yep, they got to give big thanks to the eliminated Grenada for that one, definitely. 6th with 26. Suriname.
Surprisingly low. 5 defeats. Yeah, they won 8 games in the end, which is, you know, fairly handy, but they lost a lot of games, which you probably would have expected them to win.
Yep, they lost a lot of them in the beginning, and, well, it could have been the points that they weren't going to qualify at all, and, well, they almost didn't, if you look at it.
Yep, considering they've won this competition before, that'll be a bit of a wake-up call for them.
Yep, 5th place with 27, finally through to a global trophy for the first time in a while, Cayman Islands.
Well deserved. They were brilliant, weren't they? They picked up points where they could do. They won a lot of games. They won 8 games in the end, didn't they? So,
yep.
Very handy. Well done to the Cayman Islands.
Yep, and when they lost a game, you know, they just picked themselves back up and kept it going. No rot was happening there for the Cayman Islands.
Not at all.
4th with 28, St. Lucia.
Fairly comfortable throughout, I think, St. Lucia. I think they'll be pretty happy with their results.
Yep, obviously, also, St. Lucia failed to make it to the Americas qualifiers last time round, so they'll be happy to make it in so comfortably this time.
Yep, they had a relative buffer, didn't they? They had a good 4 points gap between themselves and 8th place, which would be happy for them.
Yep, and lowest amount of goals conceded alongside the leaders. 3rd with 28, Belize.
Good run from Belize again. Not in any danger at any point. I think they'll be quite happy with how they performed, really. Certainly
would on that one. Runners up with 31 points, 2nd place, Barbados.
Comfortable throughout, looked assured, won lots of games. Happy days for Barbados.
And the winners of the Americas Preliminary League with 33 points, St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Never in doubt, really, was it? was dominant throughout. They would kind of establish themselves a huge lead. They slipped up a few times, but picked up enough points to easily secure their passage into the Americas qualifiers, which we'll see in about 4 weeks' time, Chris.
Yeah, exactly. The preliminary leagues are done for at this point. They are out, and there's about to be a bit more bloodshed coming along in the next 4 weeks, because at the moment, every week, we're only eliminating, 8 teams. When, from now on, until the final, we're going to be eliminating 24 of them. The field from 128 teams that we now have is going to be cut down over the next 4 weeks, down to our final 32, and it starts next week with the European qualifiers.
Yeah, of course, our reigning champions Germany feature next week, and of course, teams like Ukraine are back. England, of course. Will they be able to qualify this time around?
You never know. You never know on that one. Maybe this is their time. But of course, then you've got so many big teams in Europe. It's the start of another global trophy. It's the start of another section of the global trophy, and it's going to be very interesting next week to see who is going through, who is going out, and it gives us a bit of an insight into do any of the other continents actually have a chance this time round.
Absolutely. But it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. There's a lot of big teams in and about this year. Hopefully, we get to see some of the big names take each other on later down the line.
You never know on that one. That is all to come next week with the Global Trophy European qualifiers. That is it from the preliminary leagues. Of course, this one had to be the most entertaining one, I think. This one was I think the European one was quite good as well, but I think obviously this one takes the cake, as it always does every year.
Yep.
But that is the end of the preliminary leagues. We will be seeing you next week for the Global Trophy 2024 European qualifiers. I've been Masterath.
Up at Sven-Göran 64.
And we'll see you next week. It's about time to eliminate another 24 teams as we edge closer and closer to crowning our 20th Global Trophy champion. We'll see you next week.